Okay, so England is going through a massive heat wave just over the last few days, and I caught a really bad sore throat the other day. It kind of put me in a bad mood, and I've been feeling depressed for a long time. Cheered up a little bit more this evening, and I've also won a whole new. I bought a bunch of Lego sets, and so now I have Sleeping Beauty, Gandalf, and Harry Potter, and the Dalmatians person witch thing, and yeah, I'm feeling I'm feeling a little bit better. I feel like the runny nose is well, it's going to come back and on, but hopefully it was just a few day thing. But yeah, my mum came up this weekend with my dad, and so annoying. We went to have a breakfast meal. Don't know what happened, but I couldn't eat anything. I just felt like there was acid in my stomach or something. I had like a couple of bacons, and that was about it. I could, but and then it was just really annoying because there was a whole table next door, and just straight away, oh, like your kid, and then she just blurts out everything that's going on with my sister, and how she lost custody, and how it's all very unfair, and then the social workers are trying to take the kids away from us, and literally she has no shame, no embarrassment. I went to see life with my dad, and I was just asking, what day is it, so I can find out if my Merlin pass thing works, because there's some days where it doesn't work, and he didn't know the day, and then my mum just burst out like to the whole restaurant, what is our anniversary? You don't know our anniversary, just like completely embarrassing herself, but she has no ability to recognize why that would be an embarrassing just to shout something up like that and try and make him feel bad, make him feel on the spot for not remembering the day, but at the same time also making a show of herself and making herself look bad because her own husband doesn't remember anything about her, or doesn't remember, isn't celebrating this anniversary. My parents' marriage failed completely. And it was really annoying because I watched a video that I was tempted to watch about Quran, and um, 6 things that you should avoid in a woman. And I knew that all the six, I didn't even get through to point 4, but I just knew that all 6 of those things would be things that I agreed with. And then there was one of them that's just like their religion, if they're not part of the Quran, then you should not date them. And the second thing is if they don't respect their parents, if they have no respect for them, and all the reasons why you should avoid a woman that has no respect for your parents. I'm just like, my mum did not raise me. My mum embarrasses me every day. My mum is a nightmare. My mum ruins my life. My mum makes me want to die every single day. And you want me to respect that? Sorry, but respect is earned. And then it just makes me feel really angry because I've seen a few videos, where people are saying that, oh, you need to respect the Muslim religion and you shouldn't dance. You shouldn't dance to the Quran, or dance whilst someone's speaking some sort of song in the Quran. And this girl was 17, the Nasser Bennett girl, and it's laughable, the fact that they think that dancing to someone singing the Quran is an insult to their God, and yet their God is happy to use a paedophile to write their holy book. Don't you know what insult actually is, and what, I spoke to someone in the jacuzzi about this. Don't you think it's weird how you're worshipping a book by a paedophile? And he was like, oh no, there's loads of books of the girl. She grew up, she was fine. She wrote lots of stuff, and this is normal, and she was completely okay with it. And just like, yeah, she was groomed. She is a 6-year-old groomed. And then I'm thinking about that trafficking film that I'm watching, or that I watched. That child sex trafficking, and then it's just like, that girl was lying on the bed, and the guy was just like, I'm not going to hurt you, I'm not going to do anything wrong. And I could just imagine, how do you know that Muhammad wasn't exactly that way with the girl that he married at 6 and then had sex with at 8 or 9? How do you know that he wasn't exactly that same way? I'm not going to hurt you. And then groomed her into thinking that this is normal, that everyone has sex at 8 and 9, and this is normal for an 8-year-old to have sex with a 40-year-old. Normal. oh, but you can't dance to a Quran because that's not normal. That's an insult. If you dance to someone talking about this book written by someone who slept with an 8-year-old, that is an insult. But to worship a book written by by someone who slept with an 8-year-old, no, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't know what to do with this because things that I'm saying can get me killed. But at the same time, the fact that I'm saying this means that I don't give a shit if I'm killed because I don't want to live with these kind of people, you know? But yeah. So I'm feeling depressed. And I'm also feeling a little bit worse because my mentally ill sister, she lost custody of her child that she gave birth to in March. She lost custody in June, and she was in some sort of mother baby unit. And I'm not going to say what's happened, but you can tell by the expression of my face that I'm not happy. So you can probably work out what it is. She's got a new partner, someone she met at the funeral of the father of the last guy. So the child that she gave birth to in March, that father died a few months into the pregnancy, and she went to his funeral and then met someone there who was supposed to be a friend of this guy, a long-term friend. The sister was in and out sort of mother baby units as soon as the baby was born, and then as soon as she came out, she met up with this guy, and within a couple of weeks he did the one thing that I asked him not to. Although technically, I think according to this, he would have even got her pregnant before I even met him. So technically, I asked him to do it after, and it was already too late. But yes, what to do? You know, people say that Britney Spears should not be in a conservatorship and should not have been forced to have a coil. But what? She is mentally ill. You know, do you think it would have been fine to not put a coil in her and probably have her end up in the same situation my sister is in, popping out a baby every year with a different guy? You know, this guy that she's just met, he's stupid. He's a bit stupid. You know, I spoke to him about the Bible, and I was trying to say that the Bible is used to control women and stuff. You know, it's very sexist, and he thought so. The Bible was designed so that Adam could control Eve. And the Bible wasn't written for those two. What do you even think? And apparently he goes to church, and so he's a believer of Christianity, or tries to be. And yeah, I think he also thinks that my sister probably is okay with the children. You know, he probably thinks exactly what I thought. Sophie lost custody of her first child to the father, and I kind of blamed it all on the father because he took the child, and Sophie. I never saw Sophie with the child. Sophie went into a mental hospital and then ran off, and then I just had to have this constant pain of my mum just going madder and madder and madder, chatting in my ear about all the questions I can't answer. So I've had to put up with that for years and years. She got out of the mental hospital, and I tried getting pregnant with a bunch of other different people. One worked, he gone and killed himself. And then she's lost custody of that baby, and then straight on to another. Is this fine? Is it okay? The question is, should you force a coil into someone if they're mentally ill? And if you know that taking a child away from them is only just going to cause them to just get pregnant with another person, because they just don't. I think the sad thing is I don't think she cares enough. She doesn't care if this new child ends up in care, or in foster care, or being adopted. I feel like it's important to say this, even if she's going to say it very soon. She's hoping that her saying this is going to actually help her keep her first child, because she's with a partner now, and this partner, they're going to be together in a serious way now, and maybe it will help her keep the first child because she's got a new partner. But this partner has a maternal. I think he's got a much more maternal instinct, but they've only known each other for a couple of months. Who gets pregnant with someone they've just met for only a couple of months? Especially after the last disaster. She's not right. She's I don't know what's wrong with her. But I think whatever's wrong with her, Britney Spears suffers from similar things. Although Britney was much more successful, so Britney's obviously got a lot more control than my sister. And I don't know. It's like my sister thinks that everything is a joke and nothing can be taken seriously. And so what if the social workers take all her kids? Well, so what if she has a kid every year and just gives them all to the social workers? She just doesn't care. There's a extreme lack of concern, and it's hard, and it's really also very, very difficult for my mum, because she has no ability to recognize that there's mental illness in her, and that she's not, her obsession over not understanding that she can't do it, it's just so extreme that the more you talk to her, the more obvious that she can't do it. um, and you try and tell this, and she just completely ignores you. And then just, it's like they're setting it up. Are you spiking this, Anna? I think George is spiking this. I think the social workers are spiking this. They're doing this, and why are they not telling me anything? And then saying all the things that they are saying her, and then also ignoring the fact that they basically said that she's failed. And she was wanting to write a form the other day about all the things she did, no, to try and get custody. But I'm like, we've done this form. We did this form. We failed. So why are you writing it out again? And it's like, oh no, it's gonna be successful this time. Is it? She's so delusional, and you can't talk to her because she just ignores you and can't hear you. But yeah, I've got Lego figures. I'm gonna have to focus on the one positive thing that I've got. I have Lego figures, and I like Lego figures, and I got the poison ivy one as well. The female poison ivy. It was £3.70, so £1.20 more than the last one that I bought, but it's got the right hair this time. And I just need to focus on the positive things and not focus on the negative things, because the negative things are only going to bring me down.